All right, welcome back. Now on to our top 5 at 7. We'll be starting with our national local news. We have Kanu sacks legal team as court adjourns open defense. The leader of the proscribed separatist group, Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has fired all members of his legal team. Kanu told the court that he was willing to defend himself. When the case was called, Kanu Agabi, who's a son who had led Kanu's legal team until Thursday, announced his decision with other senior advocates in the team to withdraw from the case. Agabi explained that the reason for their withdrawal was because the defendant has taken this case back, adding that they respect his opinion.
Also, we have Nigeria police confirm arrest of Omoyele Sowore. The Nigerian police force confirmed the arrest of activist Omoyele Sowore over his alleged role in leading protesters into restricted area in Abuja, a violation of a subsisting court order. Force Public Relations Officer ACP Benjamin Udeyi disclosed this while responding to questions from journalists in Abuja. Udeyi explained that Sowore's arrest followed confessions from 13 protesters earlier detained for breaching the restriction order around the Transcorp Hilton and Ministry of Finance area of the Federal Capital Territory.
And also, Tinubu swears in new INEC chairman Amopitan. The president, Bola Tinubu, has just sworn in the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Josh Ojo Amopitan. The brief ceremony took place at the council chambers of the presidential villa, Abuja, a few minutes ago. Delivering a brief remark, President Tinubu charged Amopitan to advance Nigeria's democratic process by ensuring that polls are credible and without blemish. Beyond charging the new INEC boss to protect the integrity of elections in Nigeria, the president said the forthcoming gubernatorial election in Anambra State should serve as his first litmus test.
Also, we have Nexus, Nigeria's gold, other solid minerals is being stolen. The National Economic Council has expanded the mandate of its other committee on crude oil theft prevention and control to cover illegal mining. This is just as the council raised the alarm that the nation's solid minerals, including gold, are being mined and stolen. Imo State Governor Opuzodinma, who chairs the committee, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents after the 153rd NEC meeting chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima at Presidential Villa Abuja. Uzodinma said the expanded mandate is part of the government's effort to curb resource theft and increase revenue from Nigeria's solid mineral sector.
And moving to international news, we have Vance and Rubio criticized Israeli parliament vote on West Bank annexation. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio has criticized a move by Israel's parliament towards annexations of the occupied West Bank. On Wednesday, far-right politicians in the next took the symbolic step to giving preliminary approval to a bill applying Israeli law in the territory, which the Palestinians claim as part of their hoped for independent state. At the end of a trip to Israel, Vance branded it a very stupid political stunt. Rubio warned before flying to Israel that annexation would threaten President Donald Trump's plan to end the conflict in Gaza. Now, Israel's prime minister called the move a deliberate political provocation by the opposition to sow discord.
Meanwhile, Ukraine urges European Union (EU) to backload using frozen Russian cash. Ukraine's president has urged the European Union to back a plan to release billions of euros in frozen Russian cash to help fund the country's defense. As EU leaders meet in Brussels, Volodymyr Zelensky said he hoped they would make a positive decision about using the 140 billion euro in Russian assets currently held in Belgian clearinghouse. The controversial move would be on top of sanctions the bloc has imposed on Russia, the latest on Thursday targeting the Kremlin's oil revenue. They followed U.S. measure against Russia oil industry earlier, the first time President Donald Trump has sanctioned Moscow as it grows frustrated over President Vladimir Putin's refusal to end the war. And that's what we have for you today on Top 5 at 7.